My name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my final review for the final episode of the Traitors. So I now know who the winner or the winners are. What I'll do is I'll just quickly run through episode 12 to tell you exactly how everything happened. The final was incredible. If you haven't watched this series, I would definitely recommend it, and obviously I'm assuming if you've watched this episode you will have obviously seen the whole show, but if you are watching this thinking what is the Traitors, watch it because it's an incredible series. It gets you thinking about all sorts of different things and who trusts who and how people trust other people and people turning against each other, so it's definitely a show that I would recommend watching. So if you haven't seen it and you've stumbled across this video, go to the beginning of the playlist and start from the beginning, or watch the show first and then you can watch my reviews afterwards, because otherwise you'll end up spoiling the show for yourself. So, episode 12, we had 5 people left, so I'm just going to double check what the last thing was that happened at the end of the episode. Yeah, so obviously that's when we lost Maddie in the previous episode, and Wilfred decided whether he was going to go against Bro Code, to obviously go against Kieran, his new traitor friend, or whether he was going to just try and get himself and Kieran both to the end, and then they can both win the prize between the both of them. At the beginning of the episode, Aaron basically, within the first few days, thought he was going to be removed from the game, so he didn't really think he'd get this far. As soon as he got through to the breakfast room and saw Hannah, she came in and I think she said to the camera, I think she said it to Aaron actually, did somebody order a finalist? Because obviously she was one of those lucky 5 that got to the end. And then we found out that there would be one more banishment, and then obviously the rest of them would be able to potentially end the game. Kieran said that obviously he's had quite a unique journey, and he's obviously quite happy to be here. He would have loved to have been in the final as a faithful, but obviously he kind of had no options other than to become a traitor, otherwise he would have banished technically himself from the game. Meryl wanted to not be the first person murdered, so she obviously did very, very well, obviously getting to the final, and it feels like she says that she's pretty much known everyone that's left in there for years. And Wilfred said it's an amazing final 5. He has helped them get to this point. He wanted to be a traitor from the beginning, but now obviously building those friendships and relationships with people, he's now kind of, yeah, with every person that is removed from the game or banished, he does feel bad, but it is part of the game. He just needs to decide how he wants his game to end. Kieran had a chat with Wilfred and Hannah. So again, Kieran and Wilfred kind of teaming up here, and they've obviously got Hannah there to listen in. So Kieran said it was either Aaron or Meryl, and the most important thing is the strength in numbers. So Hannah was sitting literally next to both of the traitors, Kieran and Wilfred looking at each other, trying to get Hannah on side, then it would be 3 against 2. Hannah said that she couldn't let a traitor win all the money, especially after everything that they'd kind of gone through, the tiers, the challenges, the missions, the money, everything like that. So at this point, Wilfred said that he had 2 plans in terms of how he wanted his game plan to go, that he could either get rid of Meryl and Aaron and kind of, yeah, hint to the rest of the players that he probably wasn't a traitor, or trying to deflect that he was a traitor to get Kieran out, for him and Kieran to win, and obviously outnumber the faithfuls with only Hannah then remaining. So basically get her on side, or to get Kieran out, and then obviously Wilfred would try and get to the end by himself to win the money, just by staying in the game basically. Meryl said that she didn't trust Kieran, there didn't really seem to be a bond, she didn't really have that kind of bond with him. And then all 5 of them were told that they were about to go in a helicopter somewhere, so Hannah kind of just said to the camera, she's going in a helicopter to God knows where, to do God knows what, but it's going to be exciting. And exciting is definitely an understatement for what happens next. They all met Claudia Winkleman at some grass patch thing in the middle of some forest, and they were told by Claudia that there was £20,000 to find around 4 different potential locations. I think they had about 25 minutes. And what they had to do is find the different amounts of money by using a speedboat. The only issue was they had to find the keys for the speedboat and also a map of the forest. In order to do that, they needed to obviously find the combination, and the combination was on buoys, so the little orange things in the water, that their 2 strongest swimmers had to go and retrieve. So Hannah and Aaron decided to be the strong swimmers, but they weren't able to swim out to the buoys. They had to jump out of a helicopter and obviously land in the water to then get the code, to then get the keys and the map, and then all 5 of them would go off and find the money. So yeah, Aaron was yellow, Hannah was red. They managed to get the code, which I think was 5224 or something like that, or 2456, I can't remember what it was, but it was a 4-coded code. The other three, so Wilfred, Kieran and Meryl, got on a speedboat, picked up the other two, and they had to go to 4 different locations. So Old Jetty, the boys unscrewed the poles to get the money. They won 2,000 there. They went to the beach where all of them got out and there was piles of sand with money. They had to just kind of scrape the sand away to find the money. Again, they found another 3,000 there. And then at the third location, called the Wild Boars, Kieran actually spotted a money bag on the tree which was worth 10,000, so they had to use string or rope to pull the money down. That was another 10,000. And finally at the Pink House, there was different boxes. They were all empty. One box had a riddle on it which kind of said at the end, "My name is the key to your lock." And obviously Hannah then realised glass. What do you cheers to, or something like that? You cheers with a glass. So yeah, they put that in, they got the combination, and they also got the extra 5,000 at the end. Meryl said to both Wilfred and Hannah that they had to go for Kieran, and then Kieran said to Aaron there's at least one rogue person in the group. Wilfred and Kieran had a chat, and Kieran asked Wilfred if he's sticking with his vote in order to go for Meryl. He said he was going to vote for Meryl and that Hannah potentially could. So Kieran, I think, just wanted confirmation, so asked Wilfred, or actually I think Wilfred went to go and get Hannah to bring her in to see where her head was at. Kieran actually said to the camera as well that when him, Wilfred and Hannah were in a room, Hannah didn't look at her. Wilfred was kind of still being his like mischievous Wilfred ways, and he kind of felt that they were both being a bit weird. And then just before night time, he said to Hannah that one thing that he knows is that all of this will be ending tonight. Wilfred also added that he needed to take money off people who deserved it, so not the best thing to do, but also would get him one step closer to the end. Meryl revealed that obviously at least one of the 5 of them is a traitor. Kieran said regarding Wilfred that if he was going to screw Kieran over, then Kieran would also return the favour and screw Wilfred back over too. So when we got to the round table, there was £101,050 on the table to be won, so we've reached that 100,000 mark. And to start the round table, I think it was Hannah that started off, and she just said there was something at the front of her mind, that Kieran looked a bit guilty, and he also looked quite sad. Kieran said that he hopes there are good people standing at the end, and kind of spoke really, really cryptically, so he didn't call out Wilfred, but I think from what he was saying, everyone kind of then had their suspicions around Wilfred. Meryl said that obviously Amos was faithful, so she automatically had suspicions about Kieran, because they obviously both came back into the game together. And Aaron said that Kieran didn't really have many emotions when Amanda went out, for example, and there have been so many twists and turns within the game that I think everyone was just kind of throwing names out at this point. In the end, all of them voted for Kieran. Kieran voted for Wilfred. And yeah, Kieran obviously revealed himself as a traitor, but not able to reveal that he was a faithful and was basically converted. He obviously said to the camera that he hopes everyone would be able to get him, otherwise they're done for and that's game over. And I think just before he left, he said something about when he voted for Wilfred that this was his parting gift or something like that. So yeah, the rest of them kind of had a bit of a suspicious look on their face. But yeah, in the end, we found out there was the final 4. So the 3 faithfuls, Aaron, Meryl and Hannah, and obviously Wilfred, the final traitor. No new players, no new traitors. They just needed to get him out, split the money, and then they'd be able to get their money. Hannah actually said that she had never wavered on Wilfred before, and she couldn't vote him out, but there was just something about what Kieran said. There must have been something behind it, and I think all of them kind of were a bit like, well, hang on, there's something not right here. Wilfred quickly took to his defence, standing up, getting really, really emotional at the round table, saying how do you think he feels, that he's just had this random thing planted on him to make him look like a traitor when he's not. So he was getting really, really emotional, stressed, and it seemed to be quite angry actually. And yeah, Meryl, I think before that wanted to try and swerve everyone's attention away by saying, look, we found another traitor, that's it, we're done. But obviously she still didn't realise that Wilfred was also a traitor as well. And then Aaron also kind of added on, saying, what did he mean with all these cryptic messages? There must have been a reason he said something like that, knowing that there was definitely 3 faithfuls on the table and one who has already got himself in trouble before. So yeah, and then Aaron said, obviously in front of the other 3, that if he was to look back on this experience in a month's time, to see he was so close and for someone to take the opportunity away from him, it would really, really destroy him. And I think at this point Wilfred basically said, well, if you all get me out and you see that I'm faithful, I won't be able to talk to you ever again, basically. Hannah said you can't fake relationships and or bonds in here, and everyone outside can at least change one thing. So I think these were during the interviews, or the kind of the end interviews that they had with Claudia. She was just asking them questions about what would you do and how do you feel and la la la. She asked Aaron how he enjoyed the experience. He said he loved it, and if he won, he would obviously sort the deposit out for a house for his mum. Meryl said she was proud of herself, It was a bit of a surreal pinching moment, she describes it as, and she would always look at the money divided by 4 because she trusted those 3 that she had got through to the final with. And Wilfred would love to win the money more than anything, and he kind of felt like he was just going to make holiday friends, but everyone he's spoken to is more than just a holiday friend, so he kind of feels bad potentially that he could be taking that money away, but he also doesn't really feel bad because he wants to win the money for his own use to do whatever else he wants to do as well. And yeah, so the final part of the game with those final 4, so Aaron, Wilfred, Meryl and Hannah, they all had 2 pouches in a chest, and Claudia basically said to them if they picked one it would say end game, and if they picked the other one it would have banish again. So they had to decide whether they wanted to end the game and if they thought there was no traitors left, or if they thought they had suspicions of another traitor, to banish again. And as long as one person selected banish again, they would all vote to get rid of someone else out of the game. So Meryl wanted to end the game, Wilfred wanted to end the game, but both Hannah and Aaron wanted to banish again. So Meryl was kind of a bit confused by this point because obviously she trusted everyone, but her 2 other faithfuls didn't. They did vote again. Wilfred voted for Aaron. Hannah, Aaron and Meryl all got rid of Wilfred, so he was obviously removed from the game. He revealed himself as a traitor. At first, kind of a bit of a nervous giggle, I think. Everyone was obviously in shock, and then he started tearing up. And he basically just said that he couldn't explain how happy he was for the other 3. He tried to enjoy his time in the game as a faithful, but obviously, knowing he was never a faithful, it's always him against them, or his team against them. That's why he started taking out the traitors, because he wasn't sure if they were going to take out the people that he genuinely liked, which were 3 of the people that made it to the final. Aaron also added that he's never seen someone be so happy to lose so much money, with Wilfred explaining that the pressure had gone, the money had gone, but 3 people that he genuinely liked in the game had gone on to win the money. Again, the final 3 players had to decide whether they wanted to continue the game and get rid of any other traitors that they thought, or just end the game then and there. Meryl wanted to end the game, Hannah wanted to end the game, Aaron wanted to end the game. Hannah said she couldn't put into words what the experience was like. Meryl said that she loved all of them, and Aaron said that he couldn't wait to tell his mum. So they all won about 33,000 and a bit each. And that was it for the traitors. So yeah, it was a bit of a dramatic final. Like I said, a dramatic change of turns. I think all 4 of them did incredible to get to the final. I think all 22 of them did well to actually get on the show in the first place, because I think, yeah, especially with casting, it is quite difficult to pick who's likely to work with who, and you want to be inclusive and have all different people from different parts of society. But I think Hannah was incredible, comedian, funny, very energetic, very, very loud. Meryl, obviously, she again, quite confident. She obviously has had her troubles and her different issues like growing up, and I think she'd mentioned things like bullying or people thinking that she couldn't take part in like activities that other people could take part in, so she wanted to prove them wrong, and she did a very, very good job of that. Again, Aaron, he kind of said near the end that he's never won anything before, so just nice to see a nice guy get to the final as well. And then obviously for Wilfred, he did kind of lose at the final hurdle, but he technically won because he helped 3 other nice, genuine people win a prize pot. So yeah, it was an incredible series. Like I said, I think Wilfred did an incredible job to get as far as he did without kind of, I mean, he was kind of poked or pricked by some people who pointed the finger in his direction, but he survived until the final 4. But yeah, I think all 22 of the cast who were in the show were incredible. So massive claps for all of you. Like I said, it's a debut series. It's the first series of the Traitors that there have been. Apparently there's a celebrity one coming out, so that'll be interesting to do a review for. What celebrities are going to go in there, who knows? They could all trust each other outside and then all not trust each other inside or whatever, so that'll be quite interesting. But yeah, that was it for this series. So I do hope you have enjoyed all 12 of these reaction and review videos. If you want more, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'm going to try and do as many of these as I can. I can't promise I'll do it for every show possible, just the ones I want to watch or happen to stumble across on TV. But yeah, if you did enjoy, don't forget to subscribe, share and come back for more. And yeah, until the next series of The Traitors or whatever else, enjoy the rest of your time, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And until the next series of whatever, have a good one. Bye bye.